Welcome to another session in this series. In the previous session, we ended on question 182. So here we start with question number 183. Cool. The question says, in the diagram, PQ is parallel to RS. So these two are parallel. Find the size of the angle marked X. So we need to find X. Cool. But before we can find X, we need to do a couple of things. Okay. So since these two lines are parallel, we can have what corresponding angles. Okay, so this angle here corresponds to this angle, right? This angle right here. Okay, similarly, this angle right here is the same as this angle because what, they are vertically opposite. Okay, cool. So this angle will be what, 52, because this angle is corresponding to this angle. So this here will be 52, and then since this is also vertically opposite to this, it will be the same, so 52. Cool. All right, so now we know this angle, we know this angle. We can easily find X because the sum of the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. Cool. So 52 plus X plus 35 should give us what, 180. Cool. So that means X equals 180 minus 87. That would give us X to be equal to 93. Cool, which is A. Alright, let's move on to question number 184. 184 says, find the size of an interior angle of a regular nonagon. Nonagon here means a 9-sided polygon. So the number of sides is what? N equals 9 nonagon. Okay, so we know our formula of finding the interior angle to be 180 n minus 2 divided by n, and our n here is equal to 9. Okay, so we just input a 9 in the equation. Okay, 9. Cool. Now 9 can cancel 180 how many times? 20 times. So we have 20 times 7, which will give us 140. Okay, so our answer is 140 degrees. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question number 185. The question says, in the diagram, the length of PQ is the same as PR and is the same as RS. So these three lines are equal. So what that means is this triangle is isosceles, and also this triangle is isosceles. Cool. Now let's take the triangle PRS. Okay, now that triangle, these two sides are the same, so these two angles will be the same. That means that this angle here is also what, 32. Okay, cool. So now that we know this angle and this angle, we can easily find this angle right here. This angle PRS. Why? Because the sum of two interior angles should give us the opposite exterior angle. Okay, so this side, this angle will be equal to what, 32 plus 32, which is equal to 64. 32 plus 32 will give us this angle 64. Okay, cool. Now looking at this triangle, it's an isosceles triangle, right? That means two angles will be the same. So since we know this angle to be 64, that means this angle will also be what, 64. So let's put that also there. This angle is also 64. Cool. Now we can easily find this angle right here. So this angle here is what you're looking for. It says you calculate or find the value of angle QPR. QPR is this angle. So assuming you call that angle to be X, then we'll say that 64 plus X plus 64 should give us 180. How come? Because the sum of interior angles of a triangle should give us what? 180. So we have 64 here, another 64 here, and X, 64, 64, X. Okay, so now we can find X to be S equals 180 minus 128. So X will give us 52 degrees. Okay, which is A. Cool. All right, let's move on to question 186. All right, the question says calculate the value of X in the diagram. Cool. Now we've been given that this angle is 5x, this angle is 3x, and this angle is right here is 136. Cool. Now, these two lines are parallel to each other. How do we know that? Because of these signs. Okay. If you see that, it means they are parallel to each other. Okay. Now, let's now draw a line, a third line through this angle right here. That is parallel to both lines. Okay. Cool. If we draw that angle, that line, assume that we draw a line, this line is parallel to this and is parallel to this, then we would say that we can have some similar angles, right? This angle now would now correspond to this angle. Okay. If we draw this line and it is parallel, that means we can have corresponding angles. Okay. So this angle now is what? 5x. Similarly, we can have a second corresponding angle. This angle and this angle are corresponding, so they will be what? Equal. Okay, so this angle right here is what? 3x. Cool. Now that means that the total angle here is 136. If we add 5x and 3x, we should get what? 136. Cool. That means 5x plus 3x should give us 136. Sorry. Cool. So that means 8x will give us 136. Let's divide both sides by 8. We'll find our x to be equal to 8 cancels out, and 8 goes here 17 times. Okay, 17. Cool. So the value of x is 17, which is b. Cool. I think we'll have to stop here for now. In the next session, we move on to question number 187. Thank you so much for watching this series. See you again next time. Bye.